have, at the end of the show, Boba Fett came out and it said the Book of Boba Fett coming coming December of 2021. And that wasn't part of the big Disney announcement, but here's the logo. We wanted to hold this back because we don't want to spoil the surprise during the big Disney announcement of all the shows. And so they let me keep this one a secret. So this is actually separate from The Mandalorian Season 3. But what we didn't say in that announcement is that the next show coming up, Kathy said the next chapter, and that's going to be the Book of Boba Fett. And then we go into production right after that on Season 3 of The Mandalorian, back with the main character that we all have known and loved. So that's going to be pretty soon following that.
Okay.
So we're working on that pre-production now while we're in production on Boba Fett.
Oh, my goodness. Are there more spin-offs we can expect from The Mandalorian?
Yes, well, there's a lot of Star Wars content coming out. As I think they announced 10 projects. I think this would be 11 with the new Book of Boba Fett. But the ones that I'm involved with I'm working with my partner Dave Filoni, who is this fantastic producing partner, writer, who I met when I did a voice on the Clone Wars. We met up at the Skywalker Ranch, and we've been working together on this show. He's doing Ahsoka, which he's writing right now. And then we also have the Rangers of the New Republic, and all of them take place in the similar timeline here. That is right after Return of the Jedi, which was a film, of course, we all grew up with. I was actually an usher in the movie theater back in Queens, the RKO Keiths, when Return of the Jedi was playing. So I saw that movie dozens and dozens of times at work, and now it's so fun to be continuing the story after that with those characters, some of those
perfect full circle moment there. Luke Skywalker, one of the most iconic heroes in history. Mark Hamill making a comeback in the season finale there. What went into that decision? There was a risk in doing that, and how did you keep that under wraps?
It was very tricky because it's very hard to keep a secret nowadays, especially with Star Wars, because people are so curious about it. And there are so many people involved with the process, with visual effects, finishing, making it, filming it, at the studios, everything. And every leak, every piece of casting leaked. And we were so scared right up till it aired that our surprise cameo was going to leak too. But we started off the whole series with the Baby Yoda reveal, with the Grogu reveal. That was a secret that everybody was really blown away by. And part of that is not telling too many people, not having merchandise that's being tooled up and announced, all that kind of thing. And then to have the very last episode, to have Mark Hamill actually on set filming and us using whatever technology we had available to de-age him and try to make him look as much like he did in the old films.
Well, it was an exciting moment. I have to ask you quickly, though, because we're running out of time here. Grogu, where did that name come from, Grogu?
I had written it in the script from very early on, and we finally revealed it in the show. But, of course, everybody knows Grogu as Baby Yoda, which, by the way, is fine with all of us. We still call him Baby Yoda, too. But he prefers to be called Baby Grogu. If you notice in the show, he perks up a lot when they say his name.
Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie. This is going to be my new Mandalorian video, obviously explaining what's going on with the Book of Boba Fett miniseries that Jon Favreau just explained there, the teaser trailer at the end of the Mandalorian Season 2 finale. We finally have all the details, so we'll break it down. If you're brand new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the episodes. I will be doing bonus videos for the Mandalorian Season 3 in the Boba Fett series, all the other Star Wars series that they announced. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of Star Wars in the next couple of years. Jon Favreau said it. They have 11 new series coming with this Boba Fett announcement. I'm really excited about all this. Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni very clearly have a handle on the future of Star Wars, and the future of Star Wars really is in these Star Wars series that they're doing, not so much in the movies like you would normally expect. But careful for spoilers for everything that happened on The Mandalorian so far, just because that's obviously a big part of what he was talking about in the events of the Boba Fett series. He confirmed that the Book of Boba Fett is a full separate spin-off show from The Mandalorian. Robert Rodriguez will be doing it with him and Dave Filoni. So obviously he directed the Boba Fett episode, Season 2, Episode 6. It makes sense now why he did that, because that seemed like a trial run for the Boba Fett miniseries. Jon Favreau also clarified that he's mostly involved with the Mandalorian spin-off series out of the 10, now 11 Star Wars shows that they announced, even though they're all kind of working together using the same technology in those special video walls. He confirmed that the Boba Fett episodes will start releasing in December 2021. Now, he said Christmas first, but then he backtracked really quickly and said, I mean December. And The Mandalorian Season 3 will premiere shortly after the Boba Fett episodes are all done. They're filming the Boba Fett episodes right now as of me posting this video, and right after they finish those, they'll start filming the Mandalorian Season 3 episodes. So when he said that the Mandalorian Season 3 would start right after they're done, what he means is they're going to start filming that after they're done filming the Boba Fett series. Then they'll actually release the Mandalorian Season 3 episodes after the Boba Fett episodes are done releasing. So that means that the Mandalorian Season 3 will release in the early part of 2022. When he said that The Mandalorian Season 3 will focus on the character that we all know and love, obviously he's talking about Pedro Pascal's Mando character. He's still the main character, even though it seems like everyone kind of went their separate ways, and Bo-Katan is becoming a much bigger deal with the other Mandalorian characters. Grogu is off with Luke Skywalker for his Jedi training montage. But Grogu is obviously still going to be a big part of The Mandalorian Season 3. He just won't be riding around in Mando's hip pocket for a while, and I think they're going to find a way to avoid having to use Luke Skywalker a lot on screen, because the way he talks about the Luke Skywalker cameo scene in the finale, it was meant to be a really, really special thing, not something that they're going to do every single episode. He didn't say how many episodes of the Book of Boba Fett they're going to be, but when they're calling it a mini-series, that means it's just a one-off season. Probably a shorter episode count than the Mandalorian main series too, maybe like 4 to 6 episodes. They'll probably wait to reveal that until they have an actual trailer that they release later next year. But the Book of Boba Fett series will be set mostly on and around Tatooine and Jabba's criminal empire. I did a video for the post-credit scene a couple days ago, I'll link it in the description, but during that I made a reference to that classic book, Tales from Jabba's Palace. If you didn't read those classic Legends books, they just delve more into the side characters and stories behind all the people that show up at Jabba's palace, the bounty hunters, the scoundrels, so we'll be seeing more of that side of the Star Wars universe during the Boba Fett episodes. Also, really big deal, he confirmed that Dave Filoni is currently writing all of the Star Wars Ahsoka Tano series episodes. So if you were worried whether or not Dave Filoni was going to be involved with that, it sounds like he's personally going to be handling most of the really big important stuff for that series, which I feel like is the best possible scenario. But now we have 4 Mandalorian-based shows, so you can call it the MCU, the Mandalorian Cinematic Universe, which is funny because Jon Favreau helped give birth to the Marvel Cinematic Universe with the first Iron Man film and Kevin Feige. So I'm sure Kevin Feige is watching all this just as happy as we are. And if you guys don't remember, a while ago they announced that Kevin Feige would be producing a Star Wars movie eventually, but they didn't say when that was going to happen. And he's so busy getting Marvel Phase 4 and Marvel Phase 5 and all the X-Men and Fantastic Four stuff off the ground that we're probably not going to see whatever his Star Wars movie is going to be for several years. But even though it kind of sucks that there's a small delay before we get Mandalorian Season 3 episodes, normally you would expect them around this time next year. The main reason why they didn't start filming Season 3 sooner is mostly just because of how the virus delayed everything a little, and apparently Pedro Pascal is filming a small movie right now, and they let him go off to do that while they film the Boba Fett series between The Mandalorian Season 2 and Season 3 in the timeline. So what he's saying during this, though, is that the events of The Mandalorian Season 3 Episode 1 will pick up after the Book of Boba Fett. Like, the Book of Boba Fett is meant to fit in between Mandalorian Season 2 and Season 3. That confirms my theory about the small time jump between Mando Season 2 and Season 3. There are a lot of reasons why you do a time jump like that, and a lot of them involve leveling up Grogu's Jedi powers with Luke Skywalker as fast as possible. But just in terms of when all these episodes are coming, if the Boba Fett episodes start releasing the week of Christmas 2021 and it runs for at least 4 episodes, they might be able to release Mandalorian Season 3 by at least March 2022. Hopefully a little bit sooner than that. But I will be doing Boba Fett videos and Mandalorian Season 3 bonus videos during the off-season for any of the big announcements or castings. Obviously, we're expecting a lot more animated characters to come in and a lot more Thrawn trilogy Easter eggs. My next video will be a bigger Luke Skywalker video about what's going on with him and how they're using him now in the Mandalorian Cinematic Universe and all these series, and what's going on with the other Jedi. There's still a lot of other big Jedi characters that they need to introduce, and Legends characters from the Thrawn trilogy that they can also bring back, like Mara Jade is a really good example. That video should post later tonight, so make sure you have alerts enabled for my channel so you don't miss it. But everyone click here for my new Mandalorian Season 3 Top 10 WTF video, and click here for my full Mandalorian Season 2 Episode 8 finale video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone stay safe, this is the way.